Okay, we first talk about the water cycle because it is the easiest. It is more or less like common sense. Water cycle, it has another name called hydrologic cycle. So when water evaporates, water becomes water vapor, and it becomes a gaseous state. And then when water evaporates, the salt dissolved in the water will be separated or distilled, and then water becomes fresh water. Evaporation mainly becomes of the sun, the heat from the sun that will evaporate seawater or the water on the ground, let's say the river or lake, or water from living organisms. So we will lose water from our body because of the heat as well. And then during condensation, mainly because of the lower temperature, gaseous water will be condensed into liquid water. And the condensation that we see most of the time is raining. Amount of water that evaporates from the ocean exceeds that of return, and then it as precipitation. So precipitation is the official name for raining. Precipitation. So as I mentioned before, water can also evaporate from the land, from the plant, from living organism, from fresh body of water. It says that the water on the ground will eventually go back to the ocean because of gravity. Land in general has a higher altitude than the ocean, so gravity will pull the water from the land back to the ocean eventually. So water on the ground can be standing water like lake, flowing water like river, or groundwater. Groundwater is the aquifer. We will talk about aquifer later. Precipitation like rain, snow, sleet, hail, or fog, they are all we all group them as precipitation. They will be sink or absorbed into the ground, and they will, when they sink or absorb into the ground, they form the underground water, the aquifer. The groundwater water table, they are the top layer of saturation zone. You don't need to know the detail of saturation zone, but the aquifer, basically they are the water that are in between the rock layers. It's because the water on the ground surface, they're being absorbed into the ground. And we can get these aquifers from wells or springs. And the aquifer is replenished by rainfall, precipitation, or melting of the snow, also precipitation. So rainfall, snow, they contribute to the aquifer. An example is in the Florida. Florida, they withdraw a lot of groundwater. They call it groundwater mining. And groundwater is depleted faster than they can replenish. What happened is that in Florida, they actually have the issue because they take out too much of the water underground. That causes the land sink. And then 3% of the Earth's water is considered renewable resources because of the water cycle. It is possible to finish using up fresh water. So one thing I want to advise people whenever I talk about water cycle is that do not consume water in a bottle. So do not, because it is convenient. Then you go to maybe Costco to buy a pack of water in a water bottle. The reason is that during the process of manufacturing those transparent plastic water bottle, it actually uses a lot more water than the water contained in the bottle. So in other words, when you buy those bottled water, you not only consume the fresh water in the bottle, but you indirectly uses a lot more water because of the manufacturing of those plastic bottles. So try to use reusable water bottle. Try to use reusable water bottle for your water consumption. So this is the summary of the water cycle. You can see that the evaporation from the ocean and the precipitation to the ocean here, it forms a mini cycle here. And then also the evaporation from the land, you form the cloud on the atmosphere, and then precipitation over the land will form the lake or the runoff, like a river, and then absorption of water going through the ground will form the aquifer, the underground water, and all this water on the land, eventually they will go back to the ocean because the higher altitude of the land, the gravity will pull all the water from the land eventually back to the ocean. Okay, phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle has one unique feature is that phosphorus cycle does not involve the atmosphere. So remember this, phosphorus cycle is the only cycle that does not include the atmosphere, the atmospheric component. So phosphorus cycle mainly come from the rocks on the land, and then from the rocks it will dissolve into the ocean, and then it can get trapped in the sediment at the bottom of the ocean. And phosphorus go back to the land by geographical upheaval, meaning that when there's a tectonic movement, then it will move the phosphorus from the sediment at the bottom of the ocean back to the ground. And that's how, and then phosphate is available to plant from the soil. That's how plant absorb the phosphorus from the, that's how plant acquire phosphorus, because plant absorb phosphate from the soil. And then phosphate is a nutrient used by the producer. The plant can use phosphate to form phospholipid as the cell membrane. ATP, remember ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So all the ATP has a phosphate group there, and nucleotide as a DNA and RNA, and the nucleotide also has a phosphate group. That's why DNA is negatively charged. And animal like us, we also incorporate phosphate. Other than the DNA and RNA, we incorporate phosphate in the teeth, bones, because our teeth and our bone, they are the calcium phosphate. They are formed by calcium phosphate. And then after the producer decompose, then the producer can release phosphate back to the nature. Therefore, phosphate is a limiting factor, limiting resources for the plant to grow. And human activity contribute to all kinds of biochemical cycle, including the phosphorus cycle. The reason is that we manufacture fertilizer using phosphate. We also use it to feed animal, and also we use phosphate to make detergents. All this will cause excessive phosphate to run down in the water to cause something called cultural eutrophication. Eutrophication meaning that this is the overgrowing of animals. Example is this algal bloom. Algal bloom can kill fish, can kill lots of fish because if you have algal bloom, it's an example of eutrophication. That means the algae, they get too much of the nutrient from the rundown of the phosphate. And then they will grow so much that they'll actually deplete all the oxygen in the water. And then you kill a lot of aquatic animal in that area. So this is the phosphorus cycle. As you can see that it originates from the rock, and then it can be dissolved into the water and then go down to the ocean. And there is also a cycling of phosphorus under the ground by the biotic communities. The plant dies, or the dead animals or animal waste, they will be decomposed by the decomposer, so that the phosphate will be recycled back to the soil, and the phosphorus from the soil can be dissolved into the ocean, and then they will accumulate in the sediment, in the deep layer of the ocean. And as you can see that there's no atmospheric component for the phosphorus cycle. So phosphorus, you have absolutely little or even no phosphorus in the air. So that is the phosphorus cycle. We will talk about the cycle in the next video.